Hey, welcome to the Richard Sherman Podcast, brought to you by The Volume. I appreciate you joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe to our videos. We'll love to see you every week. Welcome back. It's the Richard Sherman Podcast. We got a Thursday night game, and Mitchell wanted to come on here and preview. Mitchell, why?
We have to, Rich. I mean, this is must-win territory for both teams, but more so for the Seattle Seahawks, Rich. I want to start with Seattle, playoff implications. We talked about it at the beginning of the season. We said, don't be surprised if they're in this situation. At least you did. I thought you were crazy, but here we are. What's going on, Rich?
Well, Mitchell, they're in a spot. They're in striking distance, Mitchell, but they're kind of falling apart at the finish line. It's like the 400-meter dash, and you're at the last 100, and you're like, man, look, just kick. Just get a kick in there. And they're not kicking, Mitchell. The monkey is on their back, and it's mostly on the defense's back. They have to get it corrected. You got veteran guys like Al Woods. Jordan Brooks has been, I think he's second in the league in tackles. Tariq Woolen, we talked about him all year, leading the league in interceptions. Quandre Diggs, big-time playmaker out there. And old-school veteran, Bruce Irvin, got to help get him a win. But the time of possession right now for their team, Mitchell, is upside down. They're getting doubled, Mitchell. That's not enough. As an offense, people are like, Geno needs to do more. Well, he needs more time. So they need to get that fixed. They need to get some stops on defense. They need to be able to run the ball offensively, and then they'll have a chance. But if they don't get that fixed, Mitchell, this Thursday, it's not going to be fun.
Well, they're 1-3 in their last 4, and they got the Niners and then KC away, and then they play the Jets, and who knows? We know they own the Rams, especially in the regular season. They've had their number of late, but this schedule is a gauntlet down the stretch, and they must win. I hate to say it, every game. They got the Lions nipping on their heels, my hometown, nipping on their kneecaps, not their heels.
Nipping on the knees, Mitchell.
Yeah, nipping on the knees, and they got the Commanders and the Giants ahead of them. So this running game, you alluded to it, it's been off recently. K9, Kenneth Walker III, my guy. For those watching on YouTube, Michigan State Spartans, go green, go white, go state. But if he's not healthy, what does that mean for this team?
With or without him, they're in a rough spot. With the running backs they got, they have Travis Homer, who did okay. But even with Kenneth Walker Jr., their rushing yards were just supremely low. They just hit a wall. I don't know if it's a blocking scheme. I don't know if people have just figured them out and gapped out I don't know if there's injuries on the offensive line. It doesn't seem like anybody's injury, but just because they aren't on an injury report doesn't mean they're not hurting. It's a long season. Offensive line, one of the hardest positions to play in the National Football League. But now you got Eric Armstead and Nicholas John Bosa. Mitchell, that's not what you want to. That's not what you want to see. And then you got Chris Jones and Frank Clark the next week, and then you got Quinnen Williams and the boys, because he should be just coming back at that point from the strained calf. Like, it's not getting any easier for that offensive line, so they need to get it fixed now. And it's going to be tough. This is going to be the best defense they face all year. And the offense has found a rhythm. You think, oh, we're going to catch a break. We got a third-string quarterback. Like, oh, my God, they're banged up. But a third-string quarterback giving the ball to Christian McCaffrey behind Trent Williams and the boys. Brandon Ayuk coming off of one of his best games of the season. George Kittle is still an all-pro, Pro Bowl talent, a guy that can get going at any point in time. And so you think you're catching a break. They're a little banged up. It's a Thursday game, but Kyle Shanahan is drawing it up with the best of them. This quarterback is more mobile than you think, and they have problems with mobile quarterbacks.
I know you love this 49ers defense, and rightfully so. They've got to be one of the best defenses we've seen, frankly, since the Legion of Boom, Rich. But put yourself in Pete Carroll's position right now. What are you doing to game plan to beat the 49ers?
I'm going back to the basics. Mitchell, I'm running 3 deep. I'm stacking the box. I'm making the receivers beat me down the field. Like, you're going to have to beat my corners. I'm going to trust the rookie. I got to trust it like you did with the Legion of Boom. I'm going to put 8 in the box, have us gapped out, because we're not stopping the run well right now, and we have to stop something. We have to change something. This quarter scheme that they brought all these guys in to run is doing okay against the pass, but you're not stopping anybody in the run game. So do you really want to continue that? It's losing you ball games. I want to say they're giving up an average of 200 yards a game over the last 4 games. And like you said, they're 1-4 in those ball games. So you have to change something up. And Pete Carroll knows this cover 3 scheme. Go back to it. It's gapped out, whether it's going to stone fronts or under fronts or over fronts and going to base defense or playing nickel and running. I can't give you guys calls, but running cover 3 weak or cover 3 strong. And these guys just knowing, hey, these gaps are all taken care of, and guys just have to own their gaps. And you can play fast like that. And you're playing against a young corner. Yes, it puts pressure on your cornerbacks. Yes, it puts pressure on your safeties. But it has to be somewhere. Right now, what you've been doing for the past 4 weeks is not working. It has to change.
What are you doing offensively to beat this vaunted 49ers defense, though?
Well, your only chance is taking shots down the field, Mitchell. You got 2 Pro Bowl, All-Pro wide receivers. You got to take your chances down the field. You got Charvarius Ward is going to be on 1. Diamador Lenore, who's been playing really well in the absence of Emmanuel Mosley, has been doing fine. But you got to take your chances there. You got to trust that Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf can have a chance against them, and you got to give them a chance. Geno Smith has been playing unbelievable football, but they're expecting him to play hero ball. Like, it's unfair what they're asking him to do with no run game at all. With the semblance of a run game, you're like, okay, go do your thing. But they're not giving him anything from the run game, and he's still been able to get it done for the most part. He just hasn't had the time. If one team has 40 minutes of offense and the other team has 20 minutes of offense, it should be easily to expect the other team to win.
Well, Richard, this is one of the, I guess, probably the best Thursday night football game of the year. I know you're excited to be on the broadcast, to be there in person with Thursday night football. Certainly going to be easy for you. You don't have to travel very far for it. But Vegas has this as 49ers are favored by 3.5. Who do you like in this game? What's your score prediction at the end of it?
Well, it's a divisional game, so all not in Vegas, but all bets are off. And, it's easier said than done. But all bets are off. So it's a division game. Anything can happen. It's on a Thursday night, short week. Deebo Samuel's just got injured. They're banged up. Both teams are sore. But you just are concerned with the weaknesses that the Seattle Seahawks showed last week and the week before and against the Raiders. Brandon Jacobs. You're like, maybe it's just Brandon Jacobs, but they did it. Carolina did it with Deontay Foreman, and he was running it up and down the field. They ran for another 240. And so you're like, hey, that's a real problem. And I don't think 2 days, 3 days is enough time to get it fixed schematically unless you go back to the basics, go back to the scheme, go back to your bread and butter, the foundation of it. And I hope they do.
Well, Rich, I know you're excited for this one. And next time we're going to be seeing you is on Thursday Night Football.